Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, everybody. I need to turn off this music. Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm so excited. It has been, um, it has been literally, I think 2 years since the last time I streamed on Twitch. The overlay is so cool. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I need to move some stuff around so that I can see y'all better. Okay. Um, yeah, I worked really hard. Excuse me. I worked really hard on these overlays. Oh, oh, what happened? Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to my little radio show, KP Radio. If you guys don't know me, my name is Kit Presley or Nico, but you can just call me Kit. Make things easier. It's been like 2 years since I've streamed, and I know that's crazy. What are we doing today? Well, every Saturday I'm gonna be hosting Storytime Saturday, where we delve into stories, writing, storytelling in general, whether that be through comics. I'm working on a comic right now with my guest slash co-host Sorynn Draws. Sorynn slash Rin, introduce yourself.
I'm fucking jailed.
They're jailed behind the chat right now. um, this overlay is insane. Thank you so much. I honestly, guys, I truly just did this on a whim, and I sped run the doing the overlays on my own for like 3-4 days. Honestly, the alerts took me the longest to set up. Um, yeah, that was a thing. You look at your phone. Yeah, I can look at my phone, read chat. Can I shouldn't help you? I need you to help me. I will gladly help you. But let me talk a little bit about what KP Radio is and what it is that we are going to be doing today. So, KP Radio is a little variety show that I've started where we explore aspects. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm terrible at speaking right now. Where we explore aspects of life, truth, and love through art and media. So we have music, art, games, comics, writing, and a whole lot more in store. And I also plan to do creator spotlights slash interviews. So if you kind of wanna, I don't know, discover new artists, new creators, and etc., or you just want to see like the behind the scenes process with behind how creators such as myself and other people that I will be bringing onto the show, how we do what we do. Yeah, just tune into KP Radio 3 times a week. I'm planning hopefully to do about maybe one spotlight or interview per week. But yeah, I have a lot in store for us. And today I am joined by my friend Sorynn.
Yo.
Hi Glass. Good morning for you. Hi Ryan is hilarious. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the follow. You guys are so nice.
I'll never escape being called Ryan.
Not Ryan, bro.
Hmm.
Um all right. So, yeah, that's a little bit about KP Radio and what I'm doing. So let me introduce myself again for those of you who don't know. My name is Kit, Kit Presley. I have another pseudonym, Nico. Um, and basically a little bit about myself. I'm just a transmedia artist, multimedia artist. You know, I'm a singer songwriter. Um, I'm a writer. I'm a graphic designer. Like I just did all my overlays and my logo and stuff. Illustration by Sorynn, by the way. So definitely go go
Do not
uh
follow.
go stalk their card. Actually, hold on, let me throw it in chat. Where is that at? Where's your card at? You know what? You can throw it in chat yourself. You're a mod.
Mm.
Um because I cannot right now. Puppy has been gushing about you for a bit now. Ah, that's so sweet. That's so cute. What? Thank you for the follow, Bridge of Elden. Thank you. That's so sweet. Wow. I'm so excited that you're live. I'm really excited too. Um, Everybody goes stalk Soryn Draws. They did my illustration for my PNG tuber. Great friend of mine. Yeah. So basically, I'm a singer songwriter, writer, graphic designer. I'm an audio engineer. I'm a performance artist, and now I'm a radio host? Question mark. So, yeah, I am so happy to take you guys along on the journey with me. So, my schedule is going to be every Saturday, Monday, and Wednesday. I will be here live streaming on Twitch every Saturday. We're going to be doing Storytime Saturday, where we dive into comics, writing, and I will be reading some stories. So, in the spirit of Halloween today, I will be reading some scary stories at the end of stream. If you guys have specific stories you want me to read, throw them in chat and I will try to get to all of them or at least the very best ones. For Monday, it's going to be Music Mondays. So I'm going to be doing live streaming my songwriting. I'm going to be introducing you guys to my favorite producers that I work with. Um, my favorite artists, my friends that I've met and worked with throughout all the years. I've met some really amazing and cool people. I will be talking about the songwriting process and what it's like being a musician and a artist, and possibly leak some of my music that I've been working on. I am working on the very early stages of an album and more behind the scenes like branding and artist persona, et cetera, et cetera. I really want to give you guys a peek behind the curtain. And for Wednesday, I will be doing Wildcard Wednesday, which is basically whatever the heck I want to do. And if you guys have any suggestions for Wildcard Wednesday, you know, you guys want me to react to any weird videos, play a certain game, yeah. But this Wednesday, we have a little treat. I will be featuring Gloss on my stream and we will be doing tarot. So if you guys want to see that, tune in on Wednesday. Ooh, can I send my favorite creepy pasta? Yes, send your favorite creepy pastas. I will say that I do not have the best memory. So um forgive me if I forget the name or if I don't save the link. I may have to ask for it again when I get to storytime reading, you know. I've always wondered about music writing because how, yes, tune in on Monday. I will be working on a song that's going to be on my album live on live stream. So if you've ever wondered what it's like writing a song, and ever wonder what it's like between an artist and some producers working together to compose a song, tune in on Monday at 5:30 p.m. CST. Um, Saturdays and Wednesday, I will be streaming at 5:30 p.m. CST every week, but on Wednesdays, I'll be streaming a bit later. So that's going to be starting at 9 p.m. CST. You can always just check my Twitch schedule in case the show times change, okay? And, follow my Instagram, join my Discord. I will be posting updates if anything changes or if anything exciting is coming along down the pipeline. So, let me just plug my socials if you guys are super curious and want to know where you can follow me, where to join the Discord. Just do exclamation socials, and that's going to be everything there. I have no idea how to pin something on here, but yeah. Okay, so a couple other chat commands that we're gonna get into is you guys can try exclamation us if thank you for the pin. Thank you for the pin. You can also pin your own card, Sorynn. But you can do exclamation cuss every time that I cuss on stream. Basically, it's a counter. I just think that's fun because I do have a sailor's mouth, but I'm gonna try to keep it tight. Other things, if you're very curious, exclamation praise and exclamation love at another user are a little fun things you can play with. I also have a little loyalty kind of system. You earn, I think it's 5 stars every 10 minutes, and you can use those stars to play roulette, do slots, and other gambling, or you can duel each other for stars. So yes, I have a swear jar. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, 13% chance is tragic. All right. So, I want to get into a little life update. What have I been up to? I know I've been gone for a super long time. It's been 2 years since I last streamed. So, Kit, are you making music again? Like, Kit, what are you doing? Like, what is going on with life, right? So, I graduated university this past May, this past summer, and I've been up to so much the past many years that I have not released official music, and obviously going through school and etc. So I want to show you a little bit of what I've been up to. So, da, 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 da. This is my little social page if you guys haven't seen it before, but a little bit of what I've been up to. So, I've been doing something called sync licensing, which sync licensing is basically licensing music for visual media. So I'm basically a songwriter and singer for visual media, and that means that my music can be used in films and advertising, in TV shows, in YouTube videos, whatever visual media, and that's how I get paid for some of it. So this is one of the sync libraries, the first sync library I ever joined, and this is my little profile on here. So I'll show you guys a few songs if you haven't heard them yet. And these are available for licensing. So let's start off with a chill one.
It's kinda windy, huh? All the clouds just to look. What are these siren sounds? That's just a tornado watch. Turn on the TV news. I can't find the remote. Control anxiety. It's just a tornado
And that was Tornado Watch by me, Kit Presley, available on Super Selective Music Catalog. Let's go on. Let's keep the chill vibes going. And that was Figure It Out. And now I'm going to show you something a bit more poppy.
People dancing aimlessly. I get the feeling that it's alright. You know what you want from me. I'm just trying to see if I got that. People want it. People put their eyes right out. I get cautious. I try
dancing in the club right now.
Honest, want you from the inside out. Keep it honest. Keep. Can we get even closer? Closer, baby. Even closer. Can we get even closer? Closer, baby. Even closer. Dance to the same sound. Been around the block, but I'm new to town. Nice to meet you, and I'm truly charmed. Gotta get to know you, and I mean no harm. Can we even closer? Can we even closer? Can't wait, keep chasing night. Got one chance, and I waste no time. I could fall in deep this time. Think that we can't be too shy. Can we even closer? Can we even closer? Can we get even closer? Closer, baby, even closer. Can we get even closer? Closer, baby, even closer.
Hi, Bridge of Eldon. If you'd like to send me some drums, you can email me at kitpresleyco@gmail.com. I'll leave it in chat. My email for business inquiries only. Yeah, so that was Closer Baby. If you guys like some electronic pop, UK garage, these are not available on streaming platforms. These are exclusive to the Sync Library, super selective, but you can go and listen to them on my socials link. This is exclusive for licensing, sync licensing for visual media. Here's another, but a more contemporary disco pop vibe. I'm gonna hold. This song makes me feel so good. I get so sick. I'm just missing. That one feeling that everyone's talking. Time did it turn out alright. All these nights very inspired by what is that one song called? I think it's Doja Cat and SZA. Kiss Me More. So a little insider about making music for sync licensing. Typically these vocal tracks, you can tell they're pretty short. None of them are really over 3 minutes long, typically around 1.5 minutes. And that's because typically when your music gets placements in sync or like being put on a TV show or a film, honestly, they probably only use maybe 20, 10, 20, 30 seconds of the song. And that could be used multiple times. It really depends. If you're making something for like a movie soundtrack, of course, that's more customized. You know, if you're Hans Zimmer, then you can make tracks as long as 10 minutes long. But in a general commercial sense, making music for sync licensing typically tends to be fairly short. And it always ends with something that we call a stinger. It kind of helps the video editor to know when certain sections end. And that makes it really easy to create visual transitions between one scene to the next. So yeah, even producing and composing for sync licensing is kind of an art in itself. For any of you in chat who are, producers or musicians and are interested in getting into sync licensing. I'll play you one more song. I won't play this all right now. I'll probably play some more on Monday. White Tea. This song is actually available on Spotify. So if you like this song, just look up White Tea by Kit Presley.
Fingers so hot, taking over, I could go off. Stepping out in bases, but you bases still can't chase it. But I never need a man on my arm. White tee, homies wanna wife me. So clean, double take when I wear tight jeans. On the street, they call me up like Blondie. Couldn't pay a money, mine I bet it's fucking tiny. On the street, it's looking like a playground. Like the way I talk, another bass sound. Like the way I'm walking from the waist down. A natty woman got them singing like H-Town. Hey, anybody, everybody. Anybody, everybody. I can take 'em, I can take 'em. Anybody, everybody. Anybody, everybody. I can take 'em, I can take 'em. White tee, flexing in my white tee. White tee, flexing nothing like me. White tee, flexing in my white tee. White tee, flexing nothing like me. Snapping on my fingers so hard.
Definitely some old school vibes, early 2000s.
But I never need a man on my arm. Snapping on my fingers so hard. Taking over, I could go off. Stepping out in bases, but you bases still can't chase it. But I never need a man on my arm.
Yeah, so this one's actually available on Spotify. Just look up White Tea by Kit Presley and you can add this one to your playlist. If there are any other songs that you liked that I showed today and you want them on Spotify, on Apple Music, you want them on streaming platforms, please spam the chat, spam my DMs on Instagram, join my Discord server and just spam me. And I will talk to the executives of my sync library that I'm a part of to ask them to distribute those on streaming platforms so they can live in your playlist. Okay. Moving on. So, some other things that I have been up to. You really liked the first one. The first one was Tornado Watch, so I will keep that in mind. But yeah, some other things I've been up to. So that was some sync licensing. I've also been into K-pop publishing, which what that means is I have been songwriting for K-pop groups, and I'm still fairly new, fairly new to it. But I've been given the opportunity to actually start songwriting for K-pop groups and a few girl groups. So fingers crossed that I get some placements and the songs that I've written will be open publicly under those artists for y'all to hear. Um, I've worked on some songs that I'm really proud of, and I hope to continue to write those songs even more. Uh, but unfortunately, I cannot show them to you because I'm under NDA. So I cannot show what I've worked on necessarily with those, but that's okay. I have mentioned I have mentioned that I am working on my album, and I have taken a very long time to curate my new artist branding, persona, and sound. And now, really, all that's left is getting into creating the music, the new sound that I want to represent myself as an artist and as a person, and just try to be like my most authentic and raw and true self and share that with all of you guys listening. And I will talk about that more on Monday on Music Monday. So that will be super exciting. On Monday, you guys are going to meet my main producer, Lazy Eye Music, and one of my really good friends, Chrome Shoddy. And we're going to be working on a single that will be on my album. So stay tuned for that on Monday. Um, Another thing, let's see. Bum, 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 bum. I have been working on a little film. Basically, if you guys don't already know, I am also a performance artist. I'm part of a group. Let me see if I can pull them up. I am part of a group called Therefore. It's experimental art, music, sound, and performance. And we are a really cool group. I did a show with them this past summer and 2024 show, and we also had a show in 2023. Our 2024 show is called Phantoms, and 2023 is called Poems for Broken Screens. And this last show was really cool, really fun. I'll show you some stills. Yeah, we love to do live projections, weird experimental sounds, and funny performances that are also kind of profound. Uh, and we are currently working to take all the video and audio documentation from our past shows and put them into videos and eventually do a film screening, hopefully, maybe in December or January. Here's the team, all this other stuff. And so that's been awesome. If you guys are not familiar with my performance art stuff, let me see if I can find I'll find a little video for you guys to watch to get a good idea. Be warned, you may get spooked. But it's spooky season. I know. It sounds very crazy. Fun fact, I made all of these sounds with just my voice. Let me turn it up a little bit.
We walk among the trees until the phantoms are cleared, until the birds are heard, until free words arrive without profession, marriage, or obsession. Until you understand that you are no less planted than the trees, and all locomotion is but local. That there are no texts or texts, but certainly urgent messages and certain urgencies in the leaves. See, animals living in black holes in the ground. You living in black holes in your head. They found you, 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 they found you. And you found. You found. You found.
Yes. So this was A Walk Among the Trees live, my solo piece from Therefores 2023 show, Poems for Broken Screens at the NT Performing Arts Center. So yeah, if you like that, stay tuned for more videos because we are working really, really hard to get those videos done and eventually do a film screening. Okay. So last but definitely not least, the thing that I've been doing. We are working on a comic. Boom. Boom. Maybe you've heard whispers about it, maybe you haven't. I don't know. But we are working on a comic. That's so exciting. Yes. Wahoo.
Wow.
Me and Sorynn are working super, super hard on this comic called Scions of Sagara. Hashtag Scions of Sagara. This was an idea that was birthed. Man, it's been like a year and a half. How long has it been?
Somewhat.
It's like
Somewhat around that.
Like, yeah, a year and a half. This is where this idea started. Um, and we have really gone a long way from the initial idea for sure. Um,
Oh,
Science of
definitely.
Sasagara, yeah. And it's gonna be a really long series. We might do a couple one shots just to get our feet wet, get kind of used to this process. Wait, I know who would love this BRB. Oh yeah, have them tune into the stream. Anyways, so this is our main character, Kali, a scion of Impurus. If you guys don't know what a scion is basically an heir or descendant. Um, she is a black cat chimera, and honestly, I just love her design. She is our pretty girl. And Rin did a really amazing job with her design. Um, I love the back design, these patterns, real gorgeous. I mean, just wow. And she has short hair, which I love too, with these little like I don't know tails.
Mhm.
I don't even know. I don't know who cuts her hair, but it's fire, and I kind of want this haircut. But um, yeah, pretty girls can have short hair, guys, and we love that. So
Who cuts her hair?
let's.
Me.
Yes, you got her hair. um, so let's see. Ba. Open up a new. So this is our girl Kali. So to talk about Scions of Sagara a little bit, to give you guys an idea of what this story is about. So the tagline is when desperate prayers are answered, salvation comes at a price. One deity must safeguard her heretical power from a pantheon determined to control it, only to find it is the key to saving her godhood and humanity's final bastion. If that sounds interesting to you, you're in luck because we are making that story. um, Now, I will say we have been working really hard on the designs. I've been working really hard on the script and outlining. This is really my first time full on writing a graphic novel. But I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. And I'm super excited to share the process and the journey with all of you guys. Um, let's see what other things I can share with you guys. So we have bum bum bum. Let's pull up a drawing with some of our other characters. So here we have, so obviously this is Kali, and this is Sora, one of our other main characters or part of the cast. And this is Koi, and this is our little shark dude, Aster. Everybody loves Aster. They have a pretty silly dynamic. Um, and everybody is all so different, so different. Aster is a shark chimera. Do we know what particular shark he is? I have no clue.
Great
Um,
White? I don't know.
great great white, maybe, I don't know. Uh, he is a shark chimera. And Kali is a black cat chimera, and I Sora is he's
Something.
he's something. Um, He's yeah.
Human question mark?
He's human question mark, chimera question mark. He's got pointy ears, and some people don't like that. So a little bit more. Let's see what else we have. We have another illustration. I think this one's actually pretty recent. Um, of Kali. So pretty. Oh my gosh, our pretty girl. I love her outfit. I wish I could wear something like this and look good. Maybe I would. I don't know. But she pulls it off really well. And I think we have some illustrations of Sora as well. I think these are like a couple outfits. He is a mechanic in Odom, which is basically the underground subterranean city of Sagara. Sagara is the remote island that is the final bastion of humanity and that all of humanity lives on. And he basically comes from Odom, which is also known as the Hole, because it's just a huge cavernous subterranean city.
Trash can.
Yeah. It's not great living there, by the way, guys. You don't want to live in Odom, unfortunately. But he does live there, and he's a mechanic. And we'll show a little bit more of our boy Aster, our shark chimera. He is a sentinel, which is basically like a police officer, and he is such a rascal. He's super funny. He kind of seems like an arrogant or, rascal-ish person, but deep down inside, he is actually like a super big nerd. He's a cop. No, yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, he's a cop. You fell to your knees. It's okay. Everybody has arcs, We all gotta start somewhere, okay? But yes, he's a comp. He's a sentinel. And it looks like a rascal, but deep down inside, he's actually just a super big nerd. He really likes comic books and films and stuff. And he's a really big simp. He canonically has a super fat crush on Kali because she looks like one of his favorite comic book characters. This is like when every WLW find out Vi is a cop too. Yes, except we're starting out with him being a cop. So, yeah. I live in Ohio. I don't want to hear nothing about bad places to live. Oh, I've been to Ohio a couple of times. You know what? I get it. And let's see. He loves this comic called Shark Dude and Lava Lady. And he really is attached to it because, he is a shark dude, clearly. And it's just really silly. He's just a really big nerd, essentially. Love him. And let's get on with. Do you have any illustrations of Koi? Other illustrations of Koi?
No.
Not really, no. Okay, let's see. These are our other sentinels. So, of course, we have Aster here being his rascal self, and he is so silly. He looks so stupid in this. He's like, oh my gosh, gasp. He is literally like, Aster is just like a fandom self insert, I feel like. It really is. He's a fanboy. This is Priya. I love her character design. She is a bull chimera. Is that right?
Yes.
Bull
Bison?
chimera.
No, bison.
Oh, bison. Sorry. Excuse me. Bison chimera. I love her design. She's so pretty. She is the tallest character out of our main cast of characters. And yes. trained in Muay Thai and Muay Baran and kickboxing, definitely could knock your socks off. Um, let me buy son her a drink. That's funny. um, yes, yes, yes. And this is Koi. Koi is an inquisitor or our version of a detective, and they're not a great detective, to be honest. They never know what's going on. Their catchphrase is what? And they are the only human in the main cast. So no pointy ears, no animal characteristics, just our regular human with natural colored hair and eyes, and yeah, living in the capital city of Isalara in Sagara. And bum, 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 bum. Here are our other scions, part of the main cast. This is Tyr, another one of our water boys. He is an orca chimera, and he's a pretty boy.
Guess he's not part of that sheet.
Well, except Ifrit. You're talking about Ifrit?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just
Yeah.
put him.
Yeah, so that's them hanging out together. Priya is so tall. Oh my gosh. It's them doing yoga. Super, super cute. So a little bit more about the premise of Scions of Sagara, the synopsis, if it interests you. After a deadly riot, go ahead.
Scions reference sheets.
Oh, is it in the?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I will go through those. So, premise. Synopsis. After a deadly riot ignites in Sagara, Kali, an ambitious scion with heretical powers, becomes caught in a web of political intrigue and zealotry. As whispers of war rise among the Merilith, Kali must protect her power from those who seek to control it, only then to discover that embracing this power may be the only way to save her godhood and humanity's final bastion. Ooh, the stakes are high. The stakes are crazy. We can take a look at the other character sheets. Let's see. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. So again, we have Tyr, sign of Aqui, which is the water clan, the clan of Aquans. Very, very pretty, very flowy. We spent a very long time doing research on how we wanted the fashion to look. And then let's do a full sheet of Priya. Ooh, so cool. I love her character design. I love the colors. I just love everything about her. Yeah, so she is the scion of Terra, or the Earth Clan. And or the clan of Geons. And she is a warden, which is basically a captain of the police force. And she got these really cool runic boots, which helps with magic and stuff. So yes, we do have a magic system in our comic. So if you guys are into sci-fi, fantasy, and mystery stuff, definitely tap into our streams on Saturday, because every Saturday we will be working on this comic on stream. Priya's also a cop. No, yes, we're Save Your Life. Yes, it's over. Bum 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 bum. And then our other sign that we have not shown yet is Ifrit, the scion of Ignium, or the Fire Clan, the clan of revered Pyrons. He is a Dracula parrot, I believe. Dracula parrot chimera. I also actually really like his character design. I love how the feathers come in to his skin here and like his face and his ears. I really love like that detail, and it being a part of his like facial hair is really cool. He's actually the oldest um the oldest scion out of all of them. He's like almost the same age as Kali's dad, which is crazy because Kali's dad is an Archon, which is the basically the chief of the clan. And he's a bit bitter about that. Aster's character sheet. So we get to see him in his uniform. Ifrit father. Aster in his uniform. So yeah, this is his sentinel uniform. We love the kind of trench coat, the insignia. I love the colors of this. I really love Aster's color palette. I think it's really like harmonious. Sorynn did a really good job with this. Here's his badge. Here's his little Shark Dude and Lava Lady comic book. Yes. Our shark boy, our shark dude. Let's see what else. Bum, 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 bum. Ooh, do you want me to show the illustrations you've done? Like the glamour ones?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna jump scare
Probably
you.
posting them at some point, so.
Oh, this one's already posted, so we'll start with this. Any tier fans? Tier fans in chat. Our pretty boy, Scions of Sagara tier. Aqui. Drop. Yes. If you guys want to keep updated with Sorynn's illustrations on SOS, go drop them a follow on Instagram at Sorynn Draws. That's Sorynn with a 0 as the O. Yes, look at that. Yummy art. I love art. Let me play some music. Give me 1 second. You will get to watch Sorynn draw. So I'm looking for music. And I think you're working on Alien Stage stuff, right? Is that what this is?
Yes, I am.
Any fans of Alien Stage in chat? Boom, boom, boom. Ymir, I don't go to Alien Stage, but I heard what happened was like Mizu 5 for PRSK fans. I do not know the context of this. I am sorry. My condolences to Round 7 watchers. Dude, Alien Stage is like only tragedy. Only tragedy. And then let's see what else. Oh, you haven't released this one yet, but can I show it? Sora's.
Which one? Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Boom. This will be out soon, probably on Sorynn's Instagram. So check it out, Sorynn Draws. Holy moly, clank, clank, ouch. That's hilarious. Guys, it's working. It's working. It's working. It's working. Man, look at that. Wow. Yummy art. Yummy art. Sora's like part bat or something. Yes. Um yes, and that is all for right now. As far as the illustrations that are done. But now we're gonna take some time and to just chill, listen to music, and watch Sorynn draw. So, as of right now, the process for making this comic, we have most of our character designs pretty much finalized. Um, and now we are moving on to environmental design in our visual development phase. And then after we finish working on environments, we will move to prop design and vehicle designs and stuff like that. And in the meantime, I will be working on the script. I have a lot of my outline done, but actually organizing panels and pages and dialogue, I mean, yeah, that takes quite a long time to figure out everything with that. He's part bat bros. Like, wait, let me see your makeup screens. Wow, I love the falsies. Indeed. Um, of course, before we got into visual development and really redesigned our characters, we did a lot of research. I mean, I love Pinterest. I don't know about you guys, but Pinterest is like my lord and savior. um, I didn't
Oh,
mention
what
this
if you show
earlier.
the old designs?
Oh, yeah. Which ones?
Kali?
Holly's like old design. Um, like the one that like the more like color the super colorful ones
Oh.
or okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll show those. Um, this is Kali's old design. Very, very different. Different clothing. I think our hair color is a little bit different. It's like less, it's like more black. Um, she doesn't have this choker anymore. Her eye color's the same. She has the same gloves, but her outfit has definitely changed. We also have this little sketch. I love this kind of like sketchy ink um style. It's very, very yummy. Very, very yummy. Biker drip. No, yeah, actually. And you can see the shapes here are a lot more geometric, a lot more sci-fi. She's wearing heels. We got rid of her heels because when um diving into what Sagara would look like how do I call it? Like I guess geographically or like environmental wise, we realize that there's a lot of different elevations and like organic structures and stuff. So walking around in super high heels would be pretty dangerous on like cliffs. And it just didn't seem pragmatic, realistic, or made sense. So we took away our high heels. Um, so this kind of compared to let's see, compared to her current is a lot of like the similar ideas stayed, but there was a lot of things that were changed as well. So we can see maybe if I can put them side by side so you guys can see the difference. So this one's very
I can put them side by
biker.
side on my canvas if you want.
I already got it up, but it's
Yeah,
thank
okay.
you. Um yeah, so very geometric, very kind of like more sci-fi, um like sci-fi, almost kind of cyberpunky kind of stuff, but we leaned away from the super. Although we do have sci-fi elements in our comic, we decided to lean away from the whole kind of cyberpunk thing. I do think it's a little bit overdone. Like I kind of wanted to reimagine how we can look at sci-fi and fantasy. um, I started leaning more into organic shapes and leaning into more Eastern fashion, like Asian style. So taking from like Indian culture, uh, Chinese, Vietnamese, Indonesian, Thai, all sorts of Asian cultures to really derive Sagara's fashion, essentially. So we can see her collar is different instead of this flared kind of collar. She no longer has a turtleneck, but she does have like a high collar that has this curve and very nice ornate pattern. She still has her shoulders are still showing off, but now um, in a kind of different way. And the sleeves are slightly different. You can see the cuffs are a bit tighter and longer, and they kind of puff at the end here. Still kind of keeping her general um, silhouette. Her hair is generally the same. She still has her gloves. Now she has a couple of rings, and they kind of fit more naturally to her hand because she actually has claws. The claws are not part of her glove. She has actual claws because she's a cat. And more organic shapes in her boots. She doesn't have super high heels anymore. It is kind of a heeled boot, but very nice, very elegant and organic shapes. This is her outfit without the purple layer on. I think initially her top inside was more of a crop top. You can see that. You can see her midriff here, but we wanted to keep it polite, keep it elegant, so cover up. uh, That's more of just kind of like Kali's personality, a little bit more modest, a little bit more, hidden, obscure, right? She's a very kind of has this mystique about her. She's kind of toned. I do wish I had muscles like hers, but she has some nice rings. This little like waist detail is really nice, I feel. Her eyes are fairly much the same. She has tiny little cat fangs. And occasionally she will wear her face jewelry. And her clan Impurus is the clan of psychics or psychons. So she has some psychic abilities, and their colors are typically purple, black, and some gold accents. As they're the strongest clan, they can afford gold. And I really, really like this edition of the back detail, the back design. That wasn't in the original, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think her back really had any kind of cool
Nope.
design to it originally, but now it looks really, really nice, and I love it. Just a little peek. She has her brother's ring on her left hand. So that's the difference between then and now. And this is not even the oldest design. This is probably the design that we stuck with for the longest until we decided to kind of change our uh, visual style, more like our inspirations, I guess, or kind of what we wanted to express through the design of our characters, of the world. Um, the old ones look nothing even remotely similar, other than that she's still a cat and still has short hair. But uh, yeah, just goes to show you kind of like the process of visual development. I think that's very fascinating. Um, you know, I do think in terms of comics and visual media, there is like a storytelling aspect to it, like we didn't just make these changes because they weren't to our liking, because to be honest, this design is still good. It's nice. I like it. It just didn't fit the story and the messages and the themes that we wanted to kind of portray in Science of Sagara. And this design definitely fits the world in the story a whole lot more. And her character arc has kind of changed uh, throughout development. So back to, what is it? Oh, you're looking at your own, the old ones. Yeah, that was some old projects from like, that was like a year ago actually. We just passed the
Yeah.
anniversary. Yeah, we were like, no cyberpunk vibe, no super high techy, kind of like super geometric, super sterile and cold. I just didn't want SOS to have that kind of vibe. I wanted it a very much more warm and like organic vibe, and taking a lot of inspiration from Eastern cultures. And then as far as um what is it? Like uh environments go, we are definitely leaning more into like the natural landscape, organic shapes, like neo-cosmic stuff. Trying to just envision like a science fiction, like a futuristic, well, future, that wasn't sterile and cold and just kind of like characterless, like lacking character. We wanted to create something unique, natural, organic, yet still modern and still kind of having this familiar yet otherworldly and futuristic feel to it. Definitely taking a lot of inspiration from like Wakanda, like Black Panther, um, as far as how maybe environments would look like. And definitely a lot of inspiration from Dune in a lot of elements of the story. Hmm. I think I sent you notes, right, of like each clan's like different kind of like region, I guess, right?
Yep. I think.
Like for Ignium, it's like black sand dunes and more sharp, angular, triangular kind of shapes. And then for Terra, I think it was in cliffs. And then for Imperius, maybe in the forest. And then I believe for Aqua, it would be like on the coastal region and along, or maybe along a river or something like that. Oceanic vibe. I'm gonna laugh if I pull up my script and it just like flashes the stream and boom, leaks. Boom, leaks. Yes, guys, I'm gonna be secretly working on the script while you guys. I'm distracting y'all. I'm manipulating my audience. I'm gonna be secretly working on the script while you guys just watch Sorynn draw. But I mean, I find it. I find it entertaining to watch them draw. Honestly, it's very satisfying. Um, let's see. Are you planning to just work on natural landscapes right now and then do architecture, or how are you thinking to like break this up?
It's a good fucking question.
Hi, Hunter. Hello, hello. Welcome to KP Radio. Those mountains spoilers. Watch. Yeah, these mountains are spoilers, guys. These mountains are spoiling everything. Oh my gosh.
Oh look.
Don't look. Don't look. Guys, turn off the stream visuals. Just like listen to the vibes. um, yeah, I have a lot to do with the script. I have a lot of work to do. I was working on it last night. I can't remember if I forgot to make any edits. I did cut out 2 pages. I remember.
Yeah.
I think I was trying to cut pages from issue 3, but I was like, oh, there's just too much going on right now.
Yeah.
Mm. A chameleon chimera named Rob Boss is actually the mastermind. You know what? Put it in a fanfic. I want to see it. I'm here to invite fanfiction, fan theories, conspiracy theories, ship wars, everything. Like, I want it all. I want it all. I want to see everyone go crazy. How many of y'all are artists in chat, like illustrators or something? I feel like I know. I feel like I know a lot of people who commonly kind of struggle with illustrating backgrounds. Maybe just because they have more interest in like designing and drawing characters and portraits and stuff like that. Yeah. Danger Wolf, do you feel like you struggle with backgrounds, or what's something that you wish you were better at artistically? I know for sure. I mean, it hasn't been a very long time since I did drawing and took that stuff seriously, but I actually used to really love doing natural, like landscape studies. Um, it just felt kind of soothing because working with organic shapes, you know, and it doesn't have to be a super, super like particular anatomy when you're drawing a mountain or a tree. So it kind of feels like you can just flow, you know? It's kind of relaxing. But I also did used to love drawing portraits. But I hate drawing now. Don't don't ask me to draw anything. Landscape and architecture. Landscape and architecture is fun, but a struggle because perspective is a struggle for me. What do you think about perspective, Soren? Do you think it's difficult for you, or like, what are some tips and tricks for kind of getting a better understanding of how to work with perspective?
Just had deja vu. Um,
Yeah, deja vu. Why?
I feel like you've asked me this question before.
I mean, maybe. Just give it a moment, guys. Soren's brain is loading. It takes like approximately 5 minutes.
Ah, squares.
Squares?
Squares. Well, perspective. It does a lot with just shapes, turning shapes around.
Hmm.
To this day, I am still working on it, getting better with perspective stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But always just go back to the fundamentals of using basic shapes.
Yeah.
Use references. Please use references.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with
Just,
using
just
references.
stare at a reference board.
Use references, break it down to basic shapes, and then draw those basic shapes in different like angles. And um, that's like really the fundamental, right, of like learning perspective.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, just like learning anything new, it's hard. It's difficult. So it really just takes practice, of course. Perfect practice makes perfect. Not just practice, you have to do the right type of practice.
Practice makes perfect.
Mm.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Oh, for sure. Time to use Minecraft as a perspective practice, like people sometimes do. You know what? You know what? To be honest, I almost burped. Excuse me. Goodness. Oh gosh. I'm so sorry. I apologize. um, what is it? To be honest, I think we considered building our backgrounds in Minecraft and taking like screenshots to be like background.
No, I just considered building the whole island.
Yeah, just consider building the island of Sakara in Minecraft. You know what? Maybe if we get enough readers, um, maybe we'll do like a Sagara Minecraft server. That'd be kind of cool.
No,
I've heard of so many people doing that. Yeah. I mean, that sounds like kind of cool, fun. Soryn, when we play Minecraft, Soryn is the builder. And I What?
You're my
I
chef.
I cook
You
food.
provide me food.
Yeah, I cook food. Don't ask me for nothing else. I mean, I do like mining though. I do like going mining, but when we have the kind
I
of like
love
chef
going.
mod, when we have the chef mod, I definitely like.
I just make you a
I
little
like having
restaurant.
yeah, I like having a little restaurant. To be honest, Sagara civilization jump for the beef to become Scion. um, as far as environment wise, we are taking inspiration from the Himalayas. Super tall mountains, very cool. And yet, this is an island. But the Himalayas does have really beautiful like mountain villages and like even lakes or like rivers, which is really interesting. Time for me to open story architect. If you guys are curious about what I'm using to write comic scripts, I am using two programs. Um, one is called Obsidian, and that helps me organize all the information about Science of Sagara, basically creating my own like personal Wikipedia. So if you guys are really interested in personal knowledge management systems, check out Obsidian. It's completely free. Um, as far as script writing, if you guys are writers yourselves, um, I use Story Architect and you can write screenplays, you can write comic scripts, you can write novels, audio dramas, stage plays. It's also free and it's really, really, really actually convenient and efficient. Oh, I think it is not liking when I tab out of. I'll have to put my Obsidian on my second monitor.
I was watching the stream right now. Effectus, I see you.
I think what's going to be really interesting is seeing how the buildings will integrate into the environment.
Mm.
I can't wait till we get to vehicles too. Also, the kind of the difference between Isolara and Odom, um, how they contrast.
Riley, I also see you.
Bro, so if you guys aren't aware how Science of Sagara came to be, was that I wrote a song. I wrote a song called The Hunt.
Origins.
And what?
Origins.
Yeah, origin stories. I wrote a song called The Hunt, and Sorynn drew a little sketch, I think. It is from a song, yes, origin stories. It's from a song that I wrote.
Oh, should I show it?
Yeah, if you want, go ahead.
I had the page open earlier.
So, yes. This is not the original, like the first sketch, but this is after like many other drawings. But it did start from one song I made called The Hunt. Uh Maybe I'll play it. Um And then Soryn drew this little page of doodles, and I saw this scene, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so lore implicating. Like, um, it just felt like there was a story there, you know? It just felt like their expressions, the lighting, where they were, like standing on it seems like the ledge of like a building or something, looking down at the city lights, the lighting, and just it seemed like Kali was talking about something that meant a lot to her, maybe her dreams for the city or dreams for herself. And Sora intently kind of just there and listening to her. It kind of felt like their character dynamic, it just seemed very interesting to me, and it felt like, I want to know more about these characters. I want to know what their story is. Like, why do they have this dynamic? What is she talking about? And like, where is she, etc., etc. um your and Sora's art is really amazing. Thank you, you guys are so nice. Thank you. Soryn is a really talented artist, illustrator, and just visual storyteller. Because honestly, we didn't really have a story. Uh, Soryn's Soryn's visual storytelling was just really good, and these characters, Kali and Sora, they didn't really have a story. They were just kind of like concepts. They were just designs. But painting this scene here, it gave them like more life. It gave them a world that they live in, you know, and I wanted to explore that world. I was really fascinated by it. So, thank you, Rin. Everybody say thank you, Rin, for being an awesome visual storyteller. And um, kind of the point that I want to make is that storytelling is not simply restricted to writing or words. There's so many ways that you can tell a story. Um, you can tell a story through your drawings, through your paintings. You can tell a story through your, through music, through sounds. You can tell a story through dance, through body movements, through performance, through expressions. Any form of expression can be used to tell a story and tell a compelling story, a story that connects people and touches people's hearts. And in the business of storytelling, that is what I'm most interested in. So, thank you. Welcome. for, thank you for tuning in to Storytime Saturday on KP Radio, where we're here to talk about storytelling. I need a sip of water. Everybody hydrate. Everybody's listening. Go hydrate, get some water. Mm. You know, I love a good sip of water. It feels like I did something for myself. Like genuinely, like you ever just you like wake up in the morning and you feel like like you feel
Groggy.
like yeah, you feel disgusting and groggy and just like you got pulled out of the dirt. Like genuinely ew. And then like I take a nice sip of cold water and I'm just like like I felt like the life got like sucked back into my body, you know?
Oh.
Anyways, moral of the story is freaking drink water, guys. You need water to like survive. I should be telling myself this a lot more. So like
Mm.
let's like go on this journey together to drink more water.
Jesus.
Fun fact, guys, before the stream started, I literally was fighting for my life on the toilet. I was like speed running that poop. I was speed running, bro, because I was literally doing final checks with Rin. I was doing final checks with Rin, and I sat there, and it was literally like I started streaming already. It was on the start screen, like on the loading screen, and I was like, "Oh my god, Rin, I need to shit." I mean, like it's not funny. This is not funny. I need to shit. So I zoomed my way to the bathroom and I speed runned my bowel movement. Is that TMI? I really don't care. You're here with me. You're stuck here with me. So,
My God.
oh, I said shit. I said it again. Exclamation
Ah,
cuss.
ah.
Exclamation cuss. Oh my gosh. First cuss.
Yes.
Gasp. Gasp. For those of you watching, you can also use some other fun commands like exclamation praise and exclamation love at another user. TMI no longer exists for me, anyways. Why is that the case? Are you an oversharer? Are you surrounded by oversharers? You know, I really like building this nice sense of intimacy with the audience. Like, give me your TMI, chat. Let me know. What's something that happened today that feels like a little bit too much information? Tell me your story. It's because I'm friends with Gloss. I love Gloss. I don't know if they're here right now, but Gloss is such a gem.
I think Boss died.
I mean, maybe maybe she woke up, joined the stream, and then like passed out and left. I don't know. Or maybe she's just starting her day. That's awesome. Dude, look at this brush, guys. Look at this brush. Birds. You never have to draw a bird again. Or if you want to use it as like a texture, just like really tucked in somewhere. I
Just
think
like
that's it. Yeah, just like draw with it. I think that's could also be interesting because you know when it's really small, it does get ambiguous what it is. So especially when
I
you
can texture hair.
that is hilarious, guys.
Let's go back to Luca.
I render this hair with birds. Gloss is at work, I believe. Well, I hope they have a good day at work. It's called TMI for a reason. Hey, you know what? Fair. If you don't want to share, you don't want to share. But I'm here to get all up in my own business.
Alright, you see these streaks here? Just know they were made by birds.
Guys, I rendered this hair with birds. Get creative, get experimental. I love experimenting. You know, that's how you kind of find out how to tell more unique stories in your own unique voice is by experimenting, trying things out, you know, just like kind of like I always say, fuck around and find out. Oh, exclamation cuss. Um, mess around and find out, you know, like really just push the envelope over and over again. I'm always about pushing boundaries. I'm always about, um, you know, finding ways to do things differently or just something that interests me, intrigues me. Uh I'm always intrigued by things that sound different, look different, feel different, you know. Always trying to find a way to find different ways to express something, to tell a story, but still ultimately connect with the same kind of universal feelings that we as human beings all feel. Like I think that's always really cool about stories is that stories are universal. Um, a lot of people use joke brushes as textures. I've seen someone use Germa or Among Us as textures brushes a lot. That's crazy. Maybe we should have some Easter eggs in Science of Segura. I don't know. Clip Studio is so much fun to play around with. I feel like I'm always running into a new feature. Yeah. I've never had Clip Studio. What am I doing here? um Try maybe draw some sand dunes, the black sand dunes or coastal regions.
Mm.
Um I've never had Clip Studio paint. This is Clip Studio. But I've never had Clip Studio paint before. But I've done a lot of research on it in hopes of kind of helping out Ren where I can in optimizing our comic workflow and establishing protocols and conventions and stuff like that. Uh, this is Clip Studio. I'm not drawing. This is I'm watching Rin draw right now. Yes, I'm streaming Rin stream screen. Um, yeah,
Wow.
I've never used Clip Studio before, but I found that it has a lot of really, really good features, especially if any of you out there ever want to get into making comics. I do think Clip Studio Paint is a really powerful tool and software to get that done. I just switched to it last year. It's super cool, but kind of complicated. Yeah, it definitely seems like a really powerful software that has a lot of features, but like with everything, it takes time and practice. Um,
I need like a black sand dunes.
yeah, you need some reference images. Guys, use references. References will save your life. I've always kind of imagined Ignium's palace to kind of be very triangular, not exactly like a pyramid in a black
Just sharp.
sand dune, but yeah, sharp, like a shard, a building that looks like a shard in this kind of flowy black sand. I think is a really, I don't know, interesting and pretty image in my head. Something that strikes like that makes you kind of awestruck, you know. see. Spire. A spire might be interesting. I do imagine the Merilith tower to be more maybe of a spire. I mean, it is a tower, so. But Ignium's shapes are triangles. Every clan, when I was doing research and kind of really thinking about how to lean into design techniques, um, for Imperius, we leaned into a mix of organic and geometric, but their shapes are diamonds. And then for Aqui, we have, I believe, circles, right? Circles architecturally. And then for Terra, I was thinking squares, something very kind of structurally, strong, straight lined. Um, and then for Ignium, I was thinking triangles. Definitely working on this comic has taught me a lot, and I suspect that it will teach me a lot more going forward. But I feel like maybe something you artists out there would be interested in is like the kind of work that goes behind the scenes before you even put pen to paper, before you even start drawing something, that is like final. uh, I actually spent a lot of time doing research and thinking about a lot of things thematically and with the story and the storytelling. Like, how do we want to tell the story? Because I think it's important if you're working on a comic or working on a piece of art that is linked with the story and you want to tell a story, I think it's important to figure out what story it is you're telling, um, in order to really like inform the artwork, the visual storytelling. Um, so with kind of like deciding the shapes for each clan, like architecturally, what we would lean into, um, like with Ignium, their kind of culture is about progress. They're pioneers, they are progress for the sake of progress, highly into technology, and a bit greedy as well. They are business people and they're very confident. They are the second most powerful um, clan in Sagara. And because they are pyrons or, fire conduits, I imagine them to have much more kind of form fitting clothing because, when you're playing with fire, you don't want to wear any loose clothing. Um, so I imagine they have very kind of tight clothes that stick to their skin and maybe even more like angular things, something that denotes like uh modernism. They have a kind of air of modernism to them as they're all about progress. Welcome back, puppy. And so that's with Ignium. And of course, their color is red to kind of symbolize fire. And kind of why I decided that the region there that Ignium's palace would be in would be Black Dunes is because black sand actually comes from volcanic activity, which is why it kind of turns sand black. If you guys are interested in geology or like igneous rocks and such, black sand comes from volcanic activity. And I mean, volcanoes, heat, fire, I just felt like that was very in theme with Ignium, uh, having a palace among black sand dunes. And I just think also visually it's very striking. Um, so, yeah, that is the kind of idea for Ignium that I had. Now, as far as the other clans, the same kind of principle applies. What are these clans' cultures? What are their attitudes about certain things? What are they in charge of? Um, what do they value? What are their traditions? Um, what type of animals are they? What type of chimeras are they? You know. So with Aqui, I decided kind of the main structural shape that we would lead into design wise would be circles, because it kind of has that kind of flowiness to it, with water. Aqui is the clan for aquans, which are water conduits. Oh, hi, Rax. Welcome, welcome to KP Radio. I'm talking about visual
Hello.
development and streaming Rin's screen as they work on environment design. So with Anqui, it almost seems like an obvious choice to choose circles because it's very organic, it's flowy, Even their character designs for members of the Aqui clan, they have very flowy, loose clothing. Some of the layers of their clothing are transparent, baggy pants. Taking, I think, a lot of inspiration from like Japanese and Thai, maybe like clothing. Well, I hope your day at work was good. um, yeah, but they just have very flowy kind of look to them aesthetically. Um, Now, Anqui is all about harmony flowing with nature, right? But that doesn't mean that they are a soft kind of people. Um, so definitely, I felt like Aqui was very obvious in um, putting them in coastal regions because I mean they're aquans. They want to be around water, and a lot of them are oceanic chimeras. For example, Tyr is a orca. Orca is a seawater, right? Saltwater
Yes.
creature, right? So I think it makes sense to have them, next to the sea. And also just the sea is beautiful, right? Other aspects of Anki I considered, they may be overseeing things like logistics among waterways, right? And also renewable energy sources like hydro energy. Also things like aquaculture to part of the food. And maybe some other aspects of agriculture too, with water resource management. You know, I did spend a lot of time thinking about urban development and just kind of how the world works in general, having a really good understanding. And the way that I organized all of this information was through my personal knowledge management software, Obsidian. Completely free to use. I highly suggest for anybody out there who needs to organize a lot of personal knowledge. Really simple to use. And you can make it as complex as you want with plugins, which are, most of them are free. All of the ones I use are completely free and they're super helpful. Really cool. I also use Obsidian for Dungeons and Dragons. If any of y'all like D&D or want to get into it and uh, are looking for a way to organize your session notes, uh, player sheets, NPC sheets, and stuff like that all in one place, um, Obsidian is a super powerful tool and really helpful to organize all of that information.
bringing back the birds.
The
Boom,
birds are
okay.
back.
Boom.
Boom. Are there other bird brushes?
No.
Oh, so that's just one. You only get one type of bird. Flock of
One
birds.
bird. One flock
I
of
guess you could
birds.
always mix it up and like erase some of them if you ever wanted to.
Yeah, like here. Oh.
I'm dead. I'm absolutely dead. Anything could be a bird brush if you try. You know what? When there's a will, there is a way. So that's my thoughts with Agri, like regional wise and architecturally. Um, and then with Terra, I kind of imagined, as Geons or Earth conduits, they want to be around Earth, obviously, right? But they're not going to live in Odom because nobody wants to live in Odom, to be honest. They are nobility, they are deities, they are, conduits of um, Tantra's will. So they deserve a nice place to live. Um, so I imagined, I thought about this for a while, but I eventually kind of landed on Terra being uh their palace being in cliffs, the cliffs and kind of mountainous areas of Sagara. Sagara would be interesting, I think, because they're able to move the earth, move the rock. Um, they can build really strong structures into these mountains, into these cliffs, into these canyons, and create a really interesting palace. And something about mountains and cliffs denotes strength, and kind of structure, a very structured kind of uh building culture, tradition, etc., etc. Oh yeah, Minecraft region. Yes. We are currently looking at the regions of Isalara, um, which is the capital city of Sagara. And the design shape I landed on with Terra being like a Earth clan and everything was a square. It just feels very Earth-like to me, and kind of they're all about structure, integrity. Um, they're all about tradition, all of these things. So I felt a square was very fitting for them. And last but definitely not least, the most powerful clan of Sagara is Impurus. This one was kind of difficult. Considering they are psychics, they are psychons. Um, the other clans are more kind of elemental. We have fire, water, earth. So they can tend to be a little bit more kind of obvious, I guess, the options design wise. But visually, how do you communicate that a clan is of psychics, and what is their culture like? What do they value? Uh, where do they live? What jobs do they do? Right? And how is that being communicated through the architecture, through the fashion, through the way the characters act, the way the characters see the world? Oh, here's Kali, our pretty girl. is a work in progress. If you guys haven't already, definitely give Sorynn a follow at Sorynn Draws. You can also find their links in my About section under Specs. Illustration at Sorynn Draws. I followed on Twitter. Thank you for supporting our talented illustrator.
Well, I barely post on Twitter. Good luck.
Should I do art category? Maybe I'll switch it. Maybe I'll switch it, but my stream is I will be ending my stream in about 30 minutes, and we are moving on from this art segment to start reading stories. It's pretty soon.
I need to finish this.
All right. Picking out a story, spooky story to read in the, spirit of Halloween.
Spoopy.
Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Um, I can. I can switch it to art for our last 30 minutes of the stream. Because I was chatting for a while, but I didn't switch it. But let's see. Stream info. All right, I don't know if that worked. Did we change the category,
Yeah,
guys?
it worked.
Okay, cool. All right. Spoopy story time. We have a couple requests. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. All right. Time to switch up the chill vibe, guys. We're getting spoopy. Who is excited for Halloween? Halloween is kind of like one of my favorite. I don't know. Is it holidays, festivities? Okay. So we have a request for a creepypasta. Creepypasta called Follow the Arrows. You have to work on Halloween. Oh no. But at least we get to dress up. What are you dressing up as? I'm very curious. I actually have no plan for dressing up on Halloween. I might just put on cat ears and just call it a day. But I do have plans to watch some scary movies with my friends. All right. So follow the arrows. One evening,
I have something to post for Halloween.
oh, did your stream just die or what just happened?
Huh?
Did it? Oh, it suddenly just like stopped.
Oh.
Or it suddenly like minimized it. My bad. All right. One evening, I met my friends, Jeff and Dave, in a bar for a few drinks. When I went to the bathroom and walked into one of the stalls, I happened to notice some writing on the door. It read, "Follow the arrows." I looked around, but I didn't see any arrows, so I didn't think much more about it. However, 2 hours later, I had to use the restroom again. Um, I had to use the restroom again. As I walked through the door, I accidentally bumped the light switch with my shoulder, and the room went completely dark. That's when I noticed it on the ceiling above my head. There was a trail of glow in the dark arrows. They looked like they had been there for quite a while. I was intrigued. I wanted to follow the arrows and find out where they led. I went back to the table and told Jeff and Dave what I had discovered. They were curious too. We decided to investigate. I went home and I got a black light. It's kind of like a small flashlight, but it illuminates things that are invisible to the naked eye. When I returned to the bar, it was almost closing time, and Dave and Jeff were waiting for me, their faces full of excitement. I went to the bathroom and tested my blacklight on some of the painted arrows. It worked like a charm. They glowed brightly. We followed the trail of arrows as they led from the toilet across the ceiling of the bar and out onto the street. With my blacklight, I searched around for invisible arrows on the ground. I found one. I followed the arrow, keeping my blacklight inches from the ground, waving it back and forth as Dave and Jeff followed close behind. A few feet away, I found another arrow, then another, and another still. I was following these arrows down a sidewalk for about 2 blocks. We started wondering where the hell these arrows were taking us. Finally, I got to an arrow pointing us in a new direction. It was a driveway leading to an empty lot that was surrounded by a tall metal fence. I couldn't see what was inside. The arrows led up to the gate. Jeff pushed on the gate, but it was locked. We decided to jump over the fence. Jeff went first, getting a firm handhold at the top, then pulling himself over. I put the black light in my pocket and took a running leap at the gate. Dave gave me a helping hand, pushing my legs from underneath until I tumbled over the fence. And then Dave followed, hauling himself over the tall fence with surprising ease. We found ourselves in what looked like an old parking lot, and weeds spraying from cracks in the broken concrete. I pulled out the black light and quickly found another arrow. We followed the new trail slowly, and it led us to a small shack in the middle of the parking lot. I know what this is, said Dave. It used to be a drive-in movie theater. I think that's the concession over there. As we approached the building, we saw that it was boarded up. There was some faded lettering on the wall that read popcorn. Dave shrugged. So what? The arrows lure people to buy popcorn? We walked around the building until we came to a door in the back. It was secured by an old combination padlock. My blacklight picked up something scrawled on the door in glowing paint. A series of numbers. 1, 3, 5, 6. Jeff entered the numbers in the combination lock and pulled it open with a satisfying click. He pushed on the old door and it swung open with an ominous creak. And Jeff peeked inside. I can't see anything, he said. I peeked inside the door, shining my black light. It was useless. I cursed myself for not bringing a real flashlight, just as I was about to suggest we head back home and return another day. I heard a click, and a dim light appeared in the old building. David found the light switch. The space looks like it hasn't been used for at least 30 years, said Jeff. Looking at this parking lot, there are trees in it. I mean, the electricity's still on, I replied. Someone is still paying the bills. We walked in and saw the interior was surprisingly clean, apart from a thin coating of dust. It was the sort of dust you would expect to find in an ancient Egyptian tomb. The shelves were empty and a cabinet stood on the far side of the room. Dave walked over and cautiously opened it. Wow, look at this, he exclaimed. The shelves were packed with candy boxes. I recognized Cracker Jacks and Hershey bars, but the labels were very old. Ew. Dropping my black light on the floor, I grabbed excitedly for a giant box of chocolate. Before I could examine them further, I heard Jeff say, "Guys, check this out." He was standing over a hatch in the floor and he pulled it up and was peering down into the darkness. Maybe there's another light down there? He went down the set of steps that led into the cellar and Dave and I followed close behind, trying to find a light switch. I was halfway to the bottom of the stairs when I heard a click and a dim light bulb flickered in the dusty basement. Found it, said Jeff. We walked toward the light, bumping into empty shelves and strange debris. Canvas bags like sacks of potatoes littered the floor. They were covered in dust. On one of the shelves, I spotted some old film canisters. We hurried over, reading the titles. It seemed to be mostly older monster movies. Dracula Returns, Night of the Wolf People. I didn't recognize any of the titles. We all jumped when we heard a loud whirring sound. It seemed to be coming from near the stairs, and it sounded somehow familiar, like a electric power tool. Through the hatch at the top of the stairs, we saw the shadows shift and change. At last, the sound stopped. We stood still for a moment, our hearts beating hard in our chests. Thump, thump, thump. And then we ran over to the hatch to investigate. My mind could not comprehend what it saw. The hatch we had come through only moments ago was now blocked by iron bars. Jeff ran up the steps as far as he could and grasped the iron bars, rattling them violently. They wouldn't budge. There was some sort of motorized contraption attached to the bars. It was so dark, though, I could barely make it out. I reached into my pocket for a black light. That was when I realized I left it upstairs. Jeff stood next to me and held up his cell phone. In the dim light, I could just make out a giant metal box that was mounted on the basement ceiling. If there were a way to access this device, I couldn't see it. And Dave gasped suddenly and ran over to one of the canvas bags on the floor. He dragged it into the light and worked to untie it. And when he was done, I saw him look into the bag and make a sound I've never heard before. Something between a scream and a moan. He started hyperventilating. Jeff and I ran over and looked into the bag. At first, I couldn't tell what I was looking at. And then I saw the hair and the pale flesh. I dropped the bag and vomited violently. I tried to speak, but vomited again. Jeff, I gasped, my throat raw. Your phone. Call the police. Call them now. I put my hand on Dave's shoulder. He was slowly rocking back and forth, trying to control his breathing and calm himself. I looked around. There were about a dozen similar bags on the floor. Jeff eventually got through to someone on the phone. He explained where the bar was and how he had walked several blocks to a parking lot with a fence around it. He told them about the concession stand in the basement with the locked iron bars. I grabbed the phone. Look, there are dead bodies in bags down here. Dozens of them. The woman on the other end said, just stay calm. I want you to just stay on the line with me and give me your names. We told her who we were and answered her questions. I knew we should conserve the phone batteries, but she was on our only lifeline out of this crazy situation. After we answered all her questions, she said, making prank calls to emergency rescue services is a very serious crime. My blood turned cold. She thought we were joking. As calmly as I could, I croaked, ma'am, I swear to you, I've never been more serious in my life. Please send someone down here. If we're lying, you can arrest us. Just send someone, please. Young man, she replied, don't you have better things to do on a school night? She hung up the phone. She didn't believe us. Give me the phone, said Dave. He dialed the operator and spoke calmly and deliberately. Operator, I'd like to speak to New Hyde Park Police, please. Yes, it's an emergency. No, I don't want 911 or dispatch. I want the police department. There was a moment of silence and then he spoke in a deep voice. Hello? Officer? I'd like to report some teenagers causing a disturbance in an abandoned building. They're throwing things around, smashing bottles, and wrecking the place. I saw them drag a little girl down into the basement. It sounds awful bad, just awful. Someone needs to get their butt down here quick before they hurt that little girl. Brilliant, Dave. Just brilliant, I thought. I could have kissed him. He gave the officer the location of the lot and the description. It was perfect. After answering some more of the officer's questions, he begged her once again to hurry and hang up the phone. And just then, we heard the sound of a car pulling up outside. Wow, that was fast, said Dave. That's not the cops, I whispered. We heard a car door open and close, then heavy footsteps tramped across the gravel. Jeff ran over to the hatch with the iron bars. "We're down here," he yelled. "Help, please. We're down here." The footsteps were slow and deliberate overhead. A pair of work boots and dirty blue jeans appeared at the top of the stairs. Jeff stumbled back down the stairs. He looked pale. I looked up and saw a bear of a man standing there, intimidatingly large. He was smoking a cigarette, staring down at us. "Excuse me, sir," I began. But he walked away, as if he hadn't heard me, and went outside. We heard him get something heavy out of his vehicle and then drag it inside. Whatever it was, he set it down with a thump. And then we saw plastic tarp roll across the iron bars. And moments later, we heard the sound of duct tape. The hatch was closed, and we were alone, listening to the sounds of the man working. Working, we were sure, on something evil. The sort of evil that is rarely seen, the sort of evil that you don't live to tell anyone about. Suddenly we heard a hissing sound. It was high-pitched and steady. I was confused. "Gas," said Dave. "I think he's pumping some sort of gas in here." We ran around looking for the source, but within minutes we were growing light-headed. Jeff collapsed in the corner, and Dave rushed over and tried to help him, but he passed out as well. I slumped to the floor, feeling myself drifting into unconsciousness. I heard the sirens in the distance. Then there was nothing. When I woke, I was lying on the concrete floor. I tried to sit up, but my arms were so weak they gave out on me. My head felt like it weighed 100 pounds, and I heard coughing behind me. I rolled over and saw Dave as he began to come around. There was a moment of confusion as I looked around the dusty room, and then it all snapped back in place. Adrenaline pumping my muscles found new strength. I grabbed Dave's collar. "Dave, we've got to get out of..." I stopped mid-sentence as I heard voices upstairs. "Excuse me, sir," said the first voice. "We've had reports of a disturbance out here. Have you heard anything unusual?" There was a long pause, then a deep, baritone voice said, "Yes, officer. There were some kids in this place making a hell of a racket. I came over here to run them off." "You own this property, sir?" asked the police officer. The man didn't get a chance to answer because I started screaming at the top of my lungs. Dave joined me. Jeff stirred, but I was too busy running up the stairs and pounding on the hatch to pay any attention to him. Dave grabbed a couple of metal film canisters and smashed them together, making an unholy racket. If anything more was said upstairs, we didn't hear it. What we did hear was a scuffle that ensued. Two men slamming each other into the walls upstairs. One of them fell to the floor with a heavy thud. There was a gunshot, then another. Finally, we heard a second body slump to the floor. We all stayed silent for a moment, praying the police officer was triumphant. We heard nothing. "Officer?" I shouted through the hatch. I heard a groan, then a weak voice croaked. I think I'm hurt. I think. I think. And then there was nothing. Officer? I shouted again as I pounded on the hatch. There was no response. Jeff and Dave were behind me at the base of the stairs. We need to get the hatch open, said Dave. My heart was pounding. Dave ripped a metal bar from one of the shelves and wedged it between the iron bars. He started pushing with all of his might. A small rip appeared in the tarp that had been duct taped over the opening, and I immediately began clawing at the thick plastic like a crazed rat. Jeff grabbed another piece of metal and stuck it through the bars, trying to get some leverage. We heard the groan of bending wood, followed by a loud snap. The hatch and part of its frame swung upwards a few inches. Something was on top of the hatch, keeping it down. I pushed through the bars with my bare hands as Jeff and Dave redoubled their efforts. We heard something heavy and metallic topple over and crash to the ground. The hatch door opened wider, and I could just about poke my head through the opening. A uniformed police officer laid several feet away, and something was sticking out of the side of his head. It was a kitchen knife. The worst thing about it was that the man's eyes were still open, staring directly at me. His right hand was still grasping a gun. On the other side of the room, the large bear of a man was clutching onto the wall, trying to pull himself to his feet. I could see that he had been shot in the leg and the shoulder. He looked determined. I stretched out my arm and tried to get the officer's gun, but I couldn't reach it. I strained my arm to its limit, feeling the iron bars pressing into my flesh. My fingertip touched the barrel of the gun. The dying policeman managed to push the gun closer to me, and I got a firm grip on it. Quickly, I twisted my arm and pointed the gun at the large man. The bars made it difficult to aim, but by the time I got my arm facing the right direction, my view of the man was obstructed by the hatch door. I've got the gun, I whispered to Dave and Jeff. The cop's almost dead. He can't help us. The big guy is over there, but I can't get a clear shot. How many bullets? Dave hissed. I don't know. Maybe none, Dave whispered. We could get under him and try to shoot him through the floor. We heard the large man groan and move closer to the hatch. I tried to aim the gun in his direction and waited with bated breath for him to appear. We heard the clanking of metal canisters, and I watched a large cylindrical container get pulled towards where I knew the man to be. I squeezed the trigger and fired a shot. The sound was deafening, and the kickback from the small gun was much more than I expected. My ears were ringing, and there was a sharp pain in my wrist. I heard the sound of frantic movement from the other side of the hatch door, a noise that was like someone turning a valve. An ominous hissing sound filled the air. The gas again. Jeff and Dave both helped me as we desperately tried to dislodge the iron bars that were holding us prisoner. We worked together, pushing, pulling, and twisting until finally it gave way just an inch. And Dave grabbed the contraption at the side and started yanking hard. Jeff and I put all of our weight on the bars, and at long last, the enormous contraption fell. Dave took a step or two back towards us, but collapsed as the gas overtook him. I was starting to feel faint. Jeff pushed the frame out of the way and climbed out of the hatch. I tried to follow him, but my head was spinning. Suddenly, I saw the huge man spring out from his hiding place. He had a wrench in his hand and clobbered Jeff over the head with it. I was having trouble thinking, where had I put the gun? I didn't see it. There was no time. I needed air. I pulled myself out of the hatch and inhaled deeply twice. My perceptions were dull because of the gas, and so I didn't expect the blow as the man slammed a wrench into my face. I tumbled over and collapsed, my body half in and half out of the hatch. I felt the gun next to my hand. I must have dropped it in the frenzy to try and pry the bars loose. I grabbed it and swung my arm upwards, shooting wildly in the dark. Then I lost consciousness and felt myself falling down, down, down into nothingness. When I awoke, I was being loaded into an ambulance. I grabbed the arm of a paramedic who was lifting me in. My friends, I mumbled. What happened to my friends? The paramedic just gave me a sad look and shook her head. They finished loading me in and slammed the doors. I closed my eyes, too wary to think, and drifted back into unconsciousness. 1 year later, there was a memorial service at my school. I showed up with my girlfriend. I was wearing my best suit, and in my hand there was a piece of paper with a speech on it. I walked to the podium and cleared my throat. I said a few words about how I met Dave and what a great guy he was. I told them all how he'd charged into a room full of potentially deadly gas to help Jeff and me escape from a madman. I went on to mention Officer Stanley Bell, who died that night, leaving behind him a wife and 2 children. My voice sounded funny through the speakers. The damage to my face was extensive. I've had 2 surgeries and there is 1 more scheduled for the fall. I look okay, but it affected the way I talk. When I was done speaking, I walked over to Dave's family and hugged his mother. She didn't want to let me go. Dave's father patted me on the shoulder as he choked back a sob. I walked back to my seat. After the service, Jeff was waiting on the front steps. The blow he took to the head had knocked out the vision in his left eye. He wore dark sunglasses to hide his wandering eye, and we didn't say much to each other. I just hugged him and patted him on the back. On the news, the reporters talked about the 37 bodies in canvas sacks that had been accumulating since 1957. They showed the artist's rendering of the killer based on my description. He is still at large and his identity is still unknown. The police told us the concession stand had been rigged with motion sensors that, when set off, would lower the iron bars to capture curious trespassers in a dungeon of death. They said the killer had rigged a silent alarm that would send a signal to his phone when someone entered his trap. I tried to remind myself that I was one of the lucky ones. I was exhausted and went to lay down in my bedroom. My girlfriend followed me a minute later and wrapped her arms around me. She remembered to leave the light on. Nowadays, I always sleep with the light on. Well, that was Follow the Arrows creepypasta.
Neat.
What did you think, Ren?
Meh.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I need some water. Wow, that was a longer read than I thought. I was reading for a while.
Yeah, you were.
Oh gosh,
Stay hydrated.
I need to drink water in my throat. Oh goodness. I'm back to the chill vibes. So that was Follow the Arrows, a creepy pasta. I thought it was alright. I thought it was interesting. I do
Yeah.
feel like I kind of wish there was like a big plot twist or something. You know, I feel like there was like a lot of build up, but and I thought like something crazy was gonna happen, but it was just a bunch of kids getting trapped by like some serial killer. Um, which definitely could be some type of like true crime thing. I think true crime podcasts are always fascinating to listen to. The I don't know, the extent of how evil human beings can be is kind of just unfathomable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is just a story about a bunch of kids being kids and they survived. So good for them. I appreciate your narration. Thank you. Thank you for listening. If you guys have any more suggestions for stories to read in future Storytime Saturdays, um, join my Discord, follow me on Instagram, send me a DM, um, and I will hopefully get to it. I hope you guys have been enjoying watching Ren illustrate this this little drawing of Kali and Sora for Halloween. Spooky vibes.
Whoopee.
Spoopy, spoopy. Um, but ultimately, this is unfortunately going to be pretty much the end of my stream. Um, if you guys have any more questions or anything else you would like me to know, uh, send a chat, join my Discord. Let's be buds.
Come hang around.
Thank you for the follow, Riley. Come hang around. Come hang around. I know. Um, my streams are typically going to be like 2.5 hours. I don't want to stream for very long, but I will be streaming 3 times a week. So I will see you guys on here again on Monday, and you guys will get to meet some of my favorite producers, and you'll hear me um, make music live, I guess. Woo. All right. How do I do this raid thing? Slash raid.
That's a good question.
Um, you guys have a nice night. Have a spooky weekend. I will see you guys on Monday. I'm gonna go and raid uh Specklini. All right. You guys have fun.